on the game after that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously disappointed in that we lost, but we executed a game plan that we worked on for 5 days to perfection, actually. We said if we could be tied by the fourth quarter, we'd be in a spot that we could definitely try to win this game. So great credit to our guys to execute what we were trying to do. We basically scrapped our playbook and everything that we've done for the last year to play this game in a different way. And they did a wonderful job of slowing it down and making them quite nervous. And they expended a hell of a lot of energy to beat us.
Did you feel like it was you were in a position to win at three-quarter time, but it's just obviously weight of numbers, weight of minutes? Did you run out of puff? Is that how you saw it?
Well, they made plays. You know, obviously Finn was fantastic tonight and just carried them completely in the scoring department. But we rebounded with them. We did a pretty good job with staying off the foul line with them as much as we could. And the three ball, obviously was something that got them over the line. But we weren't making excuses about any of that. We were in a position to win that game.
Season's finished. How do you sort of reflect on it now that does it feel bittersweet to you that it's finished, but you've had all these injuries and you've been able to power through it, particularly in the second half of the year, and obviously push it? Like, where's your mind at on it?
Well, my mind's two places. One, when I walk out this door, the season's over for me. I don't linger on it. Basketball's not my life. It's just something I do. So when the door closes, I'm on to living my life and enjoying my family and what I need to get done. This is not life or death for me. I'm too old and too wise at this point to worry about a basketball game and what that looks like. I will say, though, and I mentioned it in my in the opening of the game, that this has probably been the most rewarding year of my career. Because when you build something from scratch and you have these foundational pieces in about the culture that has been built down there, and everyone talks about it throughout Australia, it's good when you're winning, but it was actually built when you're losing. And most teams can't sustain what we went through. And the fact that we doubled down when it got really tough for us, our coaches, I can't be more proud of them, the players. That was where my reward came. This is better than a championship in a lot of different ways for me, of just seeing the grind that took place to really just suck it up and do what we had to do to get this chance to be in the finals and chance to play this game. And so personally for me, extremely rewarding of seeing what happened, our front office, and just everybody in the JackJumpers. It's always nice when it's good for you, but when it's bad, it actually shows who you are at the end of the day. And we stuck our head up, and we should be quite proud of what we did. Very disappointed in the wins and losses, but ultimately there's areas that we obviously need to improve on as we move forward. But yeah, in about 3 or 4 minutes when I walk out that door, I'm on to my next thing.
Mate, Pikey's on the thing. You've got longer than 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he'll go down some path.
I guess part of that pride that you feel is just seeing the guys come back in that third quarter, and I think they led for 14 seconds in that third. Like, is that just what you're really pleased with?
Yeah, I'm just pleased that we were able to execute this game plan. That when I first told them what we were going to do, they all looked at me like I was crazy, but they just bought in. And they just kept buying in every single day as we just developed what we were trying to do. We only ran 4 plays. We scrapped our playbook. We scrapped some of our defensive concepts. And so for them just to buy in with that and trust our coaching staff and what we were going to do with the 8.5 guys that we had to play, they were wonderful in that area. And, probably at the end of the beginning of the fourth, we probably should have been up 1 or 2 if we'd have made a foul shot or 2. So to be in that position in this building against that kind of team, winning sucks, but proud of our effort.
And then Jesse Edwards comes out late. Did that make another change for you and cause some further changes?
It didn't really matter to me. We had a game plan if he was going to play or not, and it didn't matter to me. I said winning sucks, but actually losing sucks. Losing sucks. Repeat that. Losing sucks. But no, it didn't affect what we were going to do. We had a game plan if he was going to play. We didn't know he was hurt, but we already had something in place for him. So.
How did you sell you scrap the playbook with doing this? Was it a hard sell? What did you have to say?
Well, I didn't have to have a hard sell. It's just I think the trust of what we've done there and the pride that they take in trying to do something and really embrace different. And that was ultimately what we were convincing them to do. This be different. Let's do something that we've never done here before and let's see what that looks like. We have nothing to lose. There's no fear of failure. I told them, before the game started, everyone counted us out, and rightfully so at some level with a depleted roster, but there's no fear of failure.
Talk about that pride in what your group's done, and being more satisfying than winning a championship in some ways. Obviously, watching a guy like Nick Marshall tonight play all 40 minutes, score 20 points, got Bano crashing the glass, getting his 17, hitting 3-pointers, David Johnson carving it up. Talk to us about what these guys mean to you and what these guys have done for you this year and tonight particularly.
Yeah, I mean, I told them in the locker room, obviously, we're disappointed with the record. But I've said this probably every single year, and I'll say it again. You guys get to judge them on 35 games or so during the course of the year and write your articles and yay or nay us and whatever you want to do. The good news is that I get to see them for another 120 days that you don't. And I see them in the community. I see them in the airports. I see how they carry our brand around. I see how they defend the island. And that carryovers is something that I'm obviously extremely passionate about, of representing Tasmanians. And so the other 120 days you don't get to judge them. I actually is where I love to judge them and see who they are as human beings and treat them with respect and understanding what their job is and how they work and how they show up for our practices. This is the 5th year in a row that I can't say enough about the group of high character guys that we got, of what they did on those other 35 games. You get to judge them. 120 is the ones that are important to me.
I know you said you're going to walk out the door in a couple of minutes, but how much do you look ahead with the group that you've just seen out on the floor? How many of those are really critical for what you're doing next season?
Yeah, I mean, we have a few guys under contract, and we have exit meetings coming up, and that process will start to unfold as it does every year for us. And we'll go through the same process of looking at the local market for the next month or so, and then see where we need to go, and obviously the players that we have and what we're going to end up doing there. But separation a few weeks away from each other is also good. Well, I always go to fishing up in the north, which I've already had the dates in for that at the end of May, and up into Quebec, into the bush, and get away from everything. I'm trying to smoke 100 cigars if I can in a couple months, and just relax and be with my family and enjoy my life. It's a precious time of the year for me in general, because I get to get back with my daughter and spend time with her, and I miss those moments with her, and she was lucky enough to be in town for a short time, but 7 or 8 months away from them is time missed. So I'm really, really excited about seeing her again.
Just one more on today's game. Anthony played 11 minutes. He obviously dealing with that back issue. How did he pull up after it?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I mean, the guys are obviously commiserating in there or whatever, but I have no idea. He did what he could. It's been a struggle for him, and we had to monitor him quite heavily. And the fact that he could do that for us was obviously quite helpful.
Talk about looking about the market and looking in for next year. There's always the rumbles around. People want to try and price Scott out of Tasmania. Are you locked in for next season? Is it something that you consider in the off season?
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky enough. I don't know why, because I am a crappy coach at the end of the day, and it amazes me a tad. But every year I've gotten tremendous offers to go some other places. I have another year on my contract, and I'll be back to open up that high performance center in Tasmania, and the money can wait to go chase that. I can do that anytime I want to, but I plan on being back.
Yeah, Scott, I'll just be quick, but we've been through this. You're not a crappy coach. Please try to stop saying it. Please try to stop saying it.
I don't have to say it. I don't have to say it because I actually know the coaches in this league, so I understand where it is. And again, I got wonderful coaches on my staff. Dean's got some great ones over there, and there's plenty of coaches in Australia that are way better than me. I'm just lucky enough to be this big fat guy that stands up in a place that ended up falling in love with our team. And just been lucky. Timing's everything in your life. And I hit the jackpot when I got to Tasmania.
You might be right, but
I know I'm right.
I can't imagine another coach going into this game with 5 players and riding your starting group. I mean, they played, I think, 184 of the 200 minutes that you had available. They scored all of your points. I mean, you've seen a lot over the last 35 years, and 40 years going back to college. Have you ever been part of a game where you had to rely so much on your starting group and I mean, they did you proud?
Yeah, I haven't. You know, when this all transpired, I had flashbacks to when I was in college. We did this thing called the Brecksville Weave where I played, and you wouldn't shoot the ball. You'd just weave the ball at the top until someone would break down. And so I started to think about doing that while we had our 2 days off. And then I also flashed back to when I was watching college basketball, dreaming about trying to play in the big games in college. And North Carolina had 4 corners with Phil Ford in the middle of the floor. And so we started watching tape about that in those 2 days and stalling the game down and spreading the floor out and see if they would bite in to come up with us and play out in those areas. And that morphed into me thinking, well, what can we do to stall this game down and actually put them on the back foot? And so it all kind of came together. The coaches bought in. They thought I was crazy. But at the end of the day, the players did exactly what we asked them to do. And we made them quite nervous, I believe.
No, absolutely. You should be proud. I'll let you get through that door now and get out of here. But
All right, Pikey.
You probably can't get rid of me that easy. We might be able to have to get to work on something else now that you've got a bit of time too.
All right, kid. You're the best.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, y'all.